All right, this time we're going to attempt a crow. It's going to be a white crow, so maybe it'll be like a hooded Doug. Someday, I want to make an edgy football joke on Facebook. It's my goalpost. No, Thursday. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? Now I'm going to have to mutilate you into some sort of paper bird. You brought this on yourself. You brought this on yourself. Well, we're making a crow. It's not going to look much crow-like, but, you know, there's a reason that crows are actually venerated in occultic circles, to the detriment of the crow, of course, but strangely also to the detriment of the actual crow's purpose on the earth, because in Scripture, crows actually fed Elijah when he was dealing with Jezebel, or Elisha. It's one of those Elias, the Shah or the Jah, I can't remember. I think it was Elijah. They fed him. But when the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat before that, well, around that time, Noah sends out crows, and they just fly around and can't do anything, like a useless bird. And then he sends out doves, which bring back some sprigs and let him know it's time to get out of the ark. So when you get right down to it, the dichotomy between the dove and the crow that we have today, where the crows are bad guys and the doves are good guys, it stretches back to that time. It stretches back to Shem, Ham, and Japheth, who are the fathers of nations, to the point where in the genealogical record of Genesis, it is possible that Abram, before he was Abraham, maybe while he was Abraham, I'm not sure, actually knew Shem, which was the good son of Noah. Japheth served Shem, and Ham was a useless bird like the crow, if you will. So the crow is now associated with a wicked, stupid, useless bird. Poor crows. They didn't know they had it coming. They're actually some of the smartest critters in the world. They're a corvid, and corvids are really intelligent. They might be smarter than dolphins. They might be second to us. They're very, very clever birds. And they're a noble bird, I believe the raven is, according to the way Scripture reckons these birds. They're at least not a bird that you're supposed to eat. They're not kosher, I know that much. A lot of animals that aren't kosher tend to be smarter. There is a delineation between some animals and others in Scripture, which is very interesting, and it extends also to the cultic world. That's why you have all this pig's blood and yada yada, you know, a lot of nastiness in ritualistic motifs has to do with quote-unquote unclean animals. They venerate those animals which are scripturally known to have a, what's the word I'm looking for, a bad reputation. I don't care a bit about my bad reputation. You know, all that kind of stuff. That little song is psychological programming for a cultic rebellion. I don't know if you realize that. Most of pop culture is, and it's all along the segues of the ancient Nimrod mystery religion, which is rooted in mankind's original rebellion and what happened after the flood. So it's really interesting how these things all come together. And look, you'll notice with origami, there's these triangles and these squares and these rectangles, and you can predictively fold. And it's just a great metaphor for, now we could have this diamond little, what do they call that? Praying mantis face. The space goes to cows, man. But see, the fold there and the fold here allows me to pop the sucker open like this. SUCKER, YouTube algorithms. It's not a bad word. And then I can make the diamond, the classic diamond shape. And for the crow, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make this classic diamond shape, and he's going to be sitting there. We're about to make his little crowy footsies here. He's just going to be sitting there brooding like some sort of dark knight. Ugh. And look at, they make Batman a good guy. Batman's kind of fun, as a superhero. But really, they've taken the imagery and they've made it good. There's a lot of really weird, subtle ways we can be psychologically manipulated into venerating the wrong side of reality. So turning the crows into an occult symbol, when they're really just the crow was probably let out too early and there wasn't anything for him to land on yet. God used crows to feed Elijah later on, and they're a smart bird, so I don't think he holds them to be inherently bad. Snakes are about the only thing you can make that argument for, but they've been turned into something bad, and traditionally That's how people think of them. Okay, so what's my next move here? All right, I've got to make his little... So notice what I'm doing here. I'm, again, the predictive fold. You've got to... And if you want to have reciprocation to make it look the same, you got to go opposite. But okay, we do that, then pop her in like this, and then boom, there we go. And that way, now you see it's together. When you make that fold, it makes it possible for you to give it that shift without too much difficulty. You've already conformed society to your end objective, the end objective of your propaganda, and then it not only switches really easy, but it's ready to stay. Okay, so what's next here? And I'm just following a playbook myself, you see. It's not as though I really know what I'm doing. So we do that, okay. All right, now we've got this little structure here, and then we're going to fold it in like that. We're seeing it come together now. See, there's his little wings, and then all you got to do, again, you have a predictive thing here. We're going to give him a big head because crows and ravens. When I was growing up in Wyoming, we didn't really have crows or ravens. We had starlings, which is what I thought crows and ravens were. And I saw one in real life. The things are the size of a chicken. We didn't have them in Gillette. Other places in Wyoming, they did. Now, should I take that as a sign that there's something metaphysically good about Campbell County? I don't know. But now, here we have a little pink crow. And check it out. He's even got his wings. Rah, rah, but he wouldn't fly far. He's just more of a tail. But you can rest him on something, and it won't fall because it's level. See, it'll stay. All right, we're done.